Alright, so my name is Ben Harvey. I'm a sophomore going into junior year. I've been playing percussion I played 3 years in middle school and I played for 2 years here. And today we'll be going over storage, technique, and the equipment and where to find it, how to use it. That will be explained by fellow percussion players. And let's get started. So this is our closet. This is where we store a lot of our big auxiliary instruments. We have the crash cymbals that we use right here. We have suspended cymbal over here, wind chimes, congos, bongos, bell trees, backup stuff for our drum set, and just like little things that we use. These are the mounts that we use for smart music that we set up over here. Smart music is what Mr. Rahali uses to grade certain assignments that he'll give to determine how you've progressed throughout the year. And then over here you can find snare drum stands. This is the snare drum that we use for concert band and symphonic band. This is the gong, bass right here. These are all the little snare drums that you won't really need to worry about. This is crashes, rides, this says effects, hats, and you have just a lot of stands here for different varieties of things, for, certain cymbals, for the drums, as I've said already, for stuff for the equipment of the drum set. And in here, just try to keep it as tidy as possible. During concert nights, you're going to have to put a lot of things in here and you're going to have to cram, but always make sure that you know where things are in here, and always make sure that the larger auxiliary things make it in here to the end of the year, and you can pull them out at the beginning of the year or whenever we're setting up. I'll show you the closet now that we use for symphonic and concert band. This is Kiki, our keyboard player.
Hi.
This is Steven, our drum guy. And then Lyndon, who plays mallets and does auxiliary. He's behind it, and I play mallets and auxiliary as well. This is the closet that we use. In here, you can find a lot of equipment a lot of sticks and equipments that we use. These preferably go with the timpani right over there. You can find mallets here for the bass drum over there, and you have just like little. This is where all the little auxiliary sort of equipment goes, and you have the chopsticks right here. You have the drumsticks over here, as I've said, tambourine, blocks, shakers, and all that sort of things, triangle, and just the little auxiliary. Usually you put the snare in here when you're done at the end of class, and and then I'll also go over, these are the mounts that we use for the bells, vibes, xylophone, marimba. That's what we all use over there. And then at the start of class, I suggest that you get everything together. You get your equipment, you put it over there, you make sure that everything's ready to go by the time that Rahali wants to start. Either do that before warm-ups or during warm-ups, and then at the end of class, put everything back where you found it. We want to make things as organized and as tidy as possible. So if, say, the triangles usually go in there, make sure that things match up with the labels, and just make sure that everything's kind of put together and it's all, where it is, so then the other classes can put them back. Thank you.
Instead of taking your stick, hitting the drum, and leaving it on there, you sort of want to just bounce it and extract the sound off the drum head. The lever on the side of the snare turns off and on the snare. underneath. These wires is what caused the iconic rattle of this drum. The snare is now off, but now it's on. Now, when you are playing the snare, a lot of times you will play more than just hitting it. You will have to roll, or maybe do a rim shot. There are lots to be done with this drum, which makes it so unique and versatile. However, this is not our only drum. If you will follow me into the great outdoors. This is a drum pad replica of a drum set. You have your toms up top, your floor tom. You also have your crash cymbal and ride cymbal, as well as the hi-hat. And here's the snare drum. This is what a drum set setup looks like. We also have the bass drum. When playing the bass drum, you can have either the firm yet soft mallet, or the fluffy yet extravagant mallet. And when you hit the drum, typically your knee is placed here and your hips are against it. You have your hand typically on top to either move the towel, which dampens the drum, or remove it. Now, once playing, you can either switch or keep it the same. Now, this drum is good for keeping the beat, and it's often the pulse or the heartbeat of the entire band. Right back at you after the drums, we have multiple cymbals we have to go over real quick. This is the suspended cymbal, iconically named for being suspended. You have your mallets, and typically you do a roll on the suspended cymbal to get a sound. Now, when you're playing the suspended cymbal, some people may go here, but that is incorrect. You play as if you're looking at a clock at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So you get a nice, consistent melodious roll. The crash cymbals. Gripping the crash cymbals is very important because you want the least amount of skin on the cymbal so that it gives a ringing, jubilant sound. So when you grip it by its leather straps, sometimes they may be rope or a wood handle. You grab it like this. You pinch and you curl down so that your knuckles and thumb are touching the cymbal. As you can hear, even when I picked it up, it is still ringing. Bringing the crash cymbals together to get the iconic crash you might hear in movies is not like this. You want to go with a sliding glancing blow because you want as much noise and as reverberation as possible. Let me demonstrate. This is also called choking what I did. When I went like that, that's choking the cymbals. Now, if I went like that, you saw how terrible that sounded, and you don't want that. Follow me to the timpani. You typically need a tuner for the timpani, as because the foot pedal, although this is how you tune it, the gauge is often incorrect. It says I'm at D, but this says D flat. When you hit the timpani, you also want to just extract the noise like you would be hitting a snare drum. When you roll on the timpani, however, you don't want to buzz your rolls. You want to single stroke it. And that is all I have to say. That was my presentation on the drums. I hope you learned a lot.
Hello, my name is Lyndon. I've been a percussionist for 5 years, and I've been playing at Mainland for 1 year. Today, I'm going to be showing you all about the mallets. So, here we have the marimba. For these, you usually want to use a softer mallet since it brings out the deep sound that you get from the large pipes. Same with the vibraphone as well. You want to bring out that deep sound in it, and they're more delicate to the hard mallets, so you don't want to damage them at all. Next, we have the xylophone and the bells. For these, you do want to use hard mallets since they have harder keys, so they're not as sensitive. And you also want to bring out that clacky sound. For the bells, you could either use glass mallets or rubber mallets to bring out a more softer note. Now, the way you'd usually want to hold the mallets is similar to a percussion stick. So you'd want to leave just a little bit of the mallet to get out of your hand at the end. So almost towards the end. Now, for the chimes, right now they're choked, so we can't play any notes. So we'd have to press down on this foot pedal to release the choker, which allows the notes to reverberate. Now I'm going to show you a quick demonstration of how to hit and roll on the mallets. So first, you want to make sure that you're gripped towards the bottom of the mallet sticks. Then, with a nice loose grip, lift and release. You don't want to keep the mallet down on the key. For rolling, you want to do the same thing continuously. Nice loose grip, don't push down on the mallets. Thank you, and this was my introduction to mallets.
Hi, my name's Kiki, and I've been playing for the keyboard in Mainland Regional High School for 2 years now. So, when you turn on the keyboard, you will want to connect the amp with the keyboard. Make sure that the amp is turned, it's off, or it will make a really loud noise. So, you plug them in, and then you turn on the amp. And you turn on the keyboard. Yeah. And when you finish, you turn off your keyboard and then you turn off your amp. Okay, you got it off. And you want to like adjust your volume because you don't want to play it too loud, just like right in the middle.
Alright, for our final thoughts, we'd just like to say that Mainland Band is an exceptional program. It's a lot of fun, and you get to play music and learn a lot and really get a good experience out of it. And thank you for the time, and we'll see you next year.
See ya.